War rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. As these two powerful forces prepare to clash, only one will rise victorious when the dust settles. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and the FLGS Partners, Warfire Minis, and X-Planet.
Hello and welcome to Season of War. Tonight we are excited to bring you another game of Age of Sigmar. Ryan bringing out Papa Nurgle and his friends.
Yeah, we're gonna go for a long run today because this is a big gap.
Yes, we're playing a very widespread mission here. But to face off against your Nurgle, Ryan, the channel members voted for me to play the Blades of Khorne, so we're getting a little chaos on chaos action tonight. And always do want to say a big thank you and give a shout out to our channel members who make all our content possible. So thank you guys so much for allowing us to do this and continue making and filming games, putting up battle reports for everyone. So we appreciate all your support. But without further ado, we'll jump into the mission today, which is the Lurkers Below. So just 3 objectives across the center, head-on collision, running at each other straight down the battlefield. The couple twists with this one though, the main thing is that there's not your typical scoring. You're not scoring like primary points or battle tactics throughout the rounds. Instead, you get a major victory if you control all 3 objectives. There's no controlling objectives in the first battle round, and you can only control the center or your opponent's objective if you control the previous one. So basically round 1 or round 2, you hold yours and then you can kind of work your way across. Battle tactics are still important though, because if nobody scores the major victory, they're the first tiebreaker. So definitely worth keeping in mind and try and get some of those, though. As we've already talked about, it's a tough one on this mission.
Yeah, I don't think I'm scoring on turn 1. I'd be surprised if you are either.
Yeah, well, we will see. But let's just jump into things. Ryan, do you want to take us through your list?
Sure. So I've got Nurgle, Befouling Host, broken up into 2 battle regiments, so as a 2-drop army. I have 2 units of Plague Drones, 6 individual Beasts of Nurgle, Blow Brought spawned. He knows Gift of Disease. We also have a Sloppity Bile Piper because you never leave home without it. The Great Unclean one here, he knows Flaming Weapon, and that's pretty much it. Short and sweet, small army.
Small, but lots of MSU, which can be tricky to tackle. Hopefully we're up to the task today. I don't have an Insensate Rage to AoE everything to death like Ridge does to me.
Yeah.
But yes, hopefully we can summon one maybe. But I'm playing the Flayed today, so this is one of the Mortal sub-factions. Mostly Mortal in my list today. I've got 2 units of Blood Reavers as battle line, and then a unit of Blood Warriors as my 3rd battle line choice. I also have a unit of 3 Skull Crushers, who are just always a super tanky, pinning or good pinning piece. Other than that, I've got a Korgorath and then 6 heroes because heroes are awesome. I have the Realm Door Ritualist. I have 2 Slaughter Priests with an assortment of prayers. And then I have a Blood Secretor and 2 big beasties. I got Starbrand himself, who's just one of the more reliable sources of damage. So I'm pivoting away from the Insensate Rage because he's infuriating. But then I do have the Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury as well. And he's my general. He's actually got the artifact to take away ward saves if he's within 3. So we may see good use of that in this matchup actually. And then he's got the command trait to make himself a priest, which is super handy because it gives me 4 priests on the table. And I've taken 3 invocations today. Again, just like testing them out, and they're situationally all really good, and even regardless of the situation, they're just great for zoning and pinning or blocking stuff up. So hopefully we can get a few of those out on the table. That's everything though for me. And then Ryan, you came in just at 2 drops.
Yep.
So you do have choice.
Yeah, you're going first.
All right. Well, I've got a long sprint, so let's just get started. Jump into Blades of Khorne, turn 1.
Eager for battle and bloodshed, the Blades of Khorne battle tactic is a matter of honor. That seems like a long shot. The Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury and Great Unclean One both use heroic leadership. The Unfeathered Bloodthirster chants for Witchbane Curse on the Great Unclean One. The Realm Gore Ritualist fails their chant for the Hex Gorer Skulls. The Slaughter Priest fails their chant for the Wrath Axe, but do summon a Bleeding Icon. The Blood Reavers use at the double. Too far to engage their opponent, the Blades of Khorne fail their battle tactic this turn.
Blades of Khorne turn 1 was understandably pretty calm. We kind of rushed forward, holding up in the center with a few layers of screens in the case that Ryan might eventually get to me. I would have loved to have like a great wall of invitations out front, but I failed to summon 2 of them. Most notably, it was the Hexgorger Scrolls were probably the most relevant because I could have potentially, I would have had double range on them because of the Scroll Altar. So they'd be up 24 inches, which is kind of would be a big barrier to both movement and actually impacting you in regards to magic. All that said though, didn't really expect much here. I knew I couldn't get a battle tactic, so I just chose one that was unlikely to be relevant later, which was kill a GC with a GC, a matter of honor. And neither of us have bodyguards, so I couldn't do it with either of those units anyways. So all in, a pretty calm start to the battle. We'll see if Ryan's able to rush in turn 1.
I can't even get to you on turn 2, I don't think. You're still so far away.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. And jump into Maggotkin of Nurgle, turn 1.
Spreading corruption as they march, the Maggotkin battle tactic is sudden domination. The Great Unclean One fails heroic leadership while the Unfettered Bloodthirster succeeds. The cycle of corruption begins with rampant disease. These guys are so gross. Blow Up casts Mystic Shield on the Great Unclean One. One of the Beasts of Nurgle's use at the double. Slowly plodding forward, the Maggotkin of Nurgle also fail their battle tactic.
Alright, so I had a riveting turn. I tried to summon a Great Unclean One onto his objective.
Just wasn't space.
No, yeah, it just wasn't meant to be, so I scored 0 just like he did. I did, though, cast Mystic Shield, and that was the highlight of my turn, so.
Opted not to cast with the duo.
That's true, because there was no benefit to be had and only potential downsides, so. Yeah, just kind of moved up, not the fastest in the world. I didn't roll very well in my run rolls, but not that I really wanted to be any closer, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
And I just I'm just here doing my thing.
Yep.
Thinking maybe next turn I'll score.
Yeah, hold and steady, and that'll bring us into a round 2 priority. Obviously, not much action yet, but we'll be getting into it soon.
Got 5. You got
That's
a 6.
6. Ryan, you probably guessed that I'm going to give you the turn here.
Yeah.
You might be able to start getting in, but hopefully only into Blood Reavers. So we will jump into Maggotkin of Nurgle, turn 2.
Hoping to invite their rivals closer, the Maggotkin battle tactic is Glory of the Grandfather. The Great Unclean One and Unfeathered Bloodthirster both use heroic leadership. The cycle of corruption progresses to the Corrupted Regrowth. The Great Unclean One casts Mystic Shield on himself. The Plague Drones use at the double. Using amassed corruption points, the Maggotkin summon another Beast of Nurgle. Bloab Rot Spawns, what the hell? Deals 3 damage to the Blood Reavers. What's with these names? The first Beast of Nurgle deals 2 mortals on impact, and no one else makes their charge. Yikes. Sloppity Piper plays My Love is Like a Ripe, Ripe Fart. Oh yes, my favorite song. The beasts deal 4 damage to the Blood Reavers, suffers 1 mortal, and the Blood Reavers deal 1 more damage in retaliation. Nurgle's Disease Points deals 1 mortal wound. Then a Blood Reaver unit uses Inspiring Presence, and the other has 4 models flee due to coherency. Unable to take down enough enemies, the Maggotkin of Nurgle fail their battle tactic again.
All right, so it was the most useless double turn. The only possible battle tactic was kill more units than you had, or than you killed of mine.
Yeah.
So I had to line up 9 inches away so you couldn't redeploy and just go for a bunch of long charges. The first Beast of Nurgle made it with a 12, and then he did enough mortal wounds to make this guy's a 10-inch, and then he rolled a 9.
Yep.
And then these 2 just failed, including a reroll. And then over here, I had killed a few in the shooting phase, probably was a mistake. I rolled a 9 and you were 10 away. As a result, I failed my battle tactic.
Yep. I did, when I pulled those guys, break coherency.
Yeah.
Which meant 4 more died.
But not enough.
Shock. But yeah.
So I don't score. So now I'm potentially facing a double turn with a scoreboard of 0. Not overly in love with that.
No victory points in general,
true.
But for tiebreaker point.
Yeah, because you'll probably get one this turn, so that puts me behind. I did get Mystic Shield in spite of your Spell Eater Curse, so my Great Unclean one is fairly tanky right now.
Yep.
So hopefully we can just kind of weather the storm here and catch up later, because that sucked.
Wasn't the best, but that'll lead us into Blades of Khorne turn 2.
Primed to unleash their fury, the Blades of Khorne battle tactic is gaining momentum. The Unfettered Bloodthirster and Great Unclean One both fail heroic leadership. The Realm Gore Ritualist summons the Wrath Axe, which deals 4 mortal wounds. The Unfettered Bloodthirster fails its chant for Unholy Flames. The Slaughter Priest chants for Killer Instinct on the Skull Crushers and Blood Sacrifice on the Blood Reavers. The Realm Gore Ritualist performs Desecrating Blood Ruins on a ruined building. The Bloodthirster deals 1 damage to the Beast of Nurgle, and the Korgorath deals 1 more. The Unfettered Bloodthirster uses Beckon the Hunt on the Blood Warriors. The Skullcrushers deal 2 mortal wounds to the Plague Drones on impact. Sloppity Piper plays My Love is Like a Ripe, Ripe Fart again. The Blood Warriors start off combat and take down the Beast of Nurgle. The Plague Drones deal no damage, but the Skullcrushers deal 5 wounds in return. Nurgle's Disease Points deal 4 mortal wounds, killing the Blood Reavers. Rejoicing in the slaughter, the Blades of Khorne complete the first battle tactic of the match.
Blades of Khorne turn 2, and we're finally getting into some action. We got a little fighting on your turn, but we got the first units taken out here on mine. Big highlight was the Blood Warriors. I mean, did 4 damage to finish off a Beast of Chaos. So or Beast of Nurgle, sorry. Nothing too crazy, but still kind of moving up the board. I've taken now the center objective as well, and I've kind of spun away from your heavy flank on the right side, or my right from this end, and kind of, avoiding it and trying to push up this side. So yeah, got some interesting plays. Got the Skull Crushers in. They took out one bug, and I didn't get. I tried out only one invitation. I went for the Wrath Axe just to get some damage out. The spell, like anti-magic, isn't the end of the world right now. Like, you're not a super heavy caster, so yeah. All that said, we're in a decent spot, but not too committed, and with the terrain and positioning, it's hard even with a double to get everything into action. There's the potential it could give away the turn, but we'll see.
I love how you already assume you're going to win.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if it happened.
That's
a 1, so you get choice here.
I'm going to give away the turn.
Okay, well.
Because I can't get to you.
Reverse psychology, I tempted you to do that. It was all part of the plan. Yeah. Just like Tzeentch, but we're going to jump into Blades of Khorne, turn 3.
Continuing the devastation, the Blades of Khorne battle tactic is Cunning Maneuver. The Unfettered Bloodthirster fails heroic leadership, and the Great Unclean One uses their finest hour. The Wrath Axe deals a whopping 10 mortal wounds, then is dismissed. Bye-bye, Plague Drones. The Bloodthirster chants for Unholy Flames, then the Ritualist grants Killer Instinct to him. The Slaughter Priests chant for Bronzed Flesh on the Skull Crushers, and Blood Boil on the Beast of Nurgle. Sloppity Bile Piper redeploys 6 inches. The Unfettered Bloodthirster whips the Beast of Chaos and takes it down, then uses Beckon the Hunt on the Blood Warriors. The Skull Crushers deal 3 mortals to the Great Unclean One on the charge. The Unfettered Bloodthirster fails his roar, while the Great Unclean One uses Mountain of Lonesome Flesh. Sloppity Bile Piper plays My Love is Like a Ripe Bright Fart. Does he not know any other songs? Bloodsecrator triggers the Rage of Khorne, and the Bloodthirster deals 7 damage to the Great Unclean One. The Great Unclean One deals 7 damage to the Bloodthirster in retaliation. With a chance to claim highest glory, the Blood Warriors deal 5 damage, leaving the Great Unclean One alive with 1 wound. The Beast of Nurgle fight next, dealing 2 damage to finish off the Skull Crusher. The Skull Crushers attack the Great Unclean One, dealing just 1 single wound to finish him off. Nurgle's disease points finish off the Bloodthirster and deals 3 mortals to the Skull Crushers. Trading blows as the blood flows, the Blades of Khorne complete their battle tactic and claim major victory.
Well, I think this is going to be the last time we play this mission on the channel. We've had some fun games with it before, but I think this and the last one both ended turn 3. Here, by 2 bodies on the objective.
Yep. An exact amount of wounds to kill the Great Unclean One.
Yeah, I will take Ryan's home objective and win the game, because that's what this mission is. Now, this was only made possible through a very insane sequence of actions. Ryan, you made the gamble of giving me the turn with the hope to get the double back. What you didn't account for is the Wrath Axe, which precipitated this whole turn of, right at the start of my hero phase, doing 10 damage, solo finishing off the 2 bugs.
Yep.
It did 7 mortals to them.
Well, 9, I saved a couple too.
Yeah,
so 9 were into it, which
yes, rolled the 6, so it exploded, and then rolled hot.
Yep.
So I did a ton of mortals, finished off those guys, which again opened up this whole play. Let my Skull Crushers sword go in here, because otherwise, even if all else was the same, I would have the Skull Crushers back here and not hold the objective.
Yep.
But
well, and these wouldn't have been able to go in either.
That's what I'm saying.
Stuck.
The Skull Crushers would have stuck here. Yep. Assuming everything else was able to fit and do what it did, which it wouldn't even have had that much room.
Yep. Gruul wouldn't have gone down because you needed that damage to
kill him.
Yeah,
the Blood Warriors did 4. The Skull Crushers did the 1, but it was the final one, so that's all that mattered. Just to talk it out, I should have, and talked about this during the turn, after you fought with the duo, it would have been smarter to attack with the Skull Crushers at that point.
It didn't make a difference.
Didn't end up mattering, but the reason for it is they had 3 models at the time. You had the opportunity to kill one, which you did. Could have cost me killing the duo. The other reason, though, is I did a 5-up ward after I attacked in my sub-faction, so they would have got a 5-up ward from attacking. The frog probably or possibly doesn't even kill that one, or at least he just dies to the disease.
Yep.
So a couple little sequencing things there. Again, Ryan, didn't matter here. You stopped me from piling in with Sloppity.
Yeah, I mean, this was my 4-up ward turn, but you're the one model in your army that turns off wards.
Yeah, so it came up so big here, obviously, in this game. We've ran it a couple times. This is the matchup you hope for, or not the matchup you hope for. This is the reason you run an artifact like that for the Nurgles or whatever other armies with the ward. Also popped the Blood Desecrator's ability this turn for the +1 attacks, which again
was necessary.
Killed the duo to the exact wound. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not see that coming. Like, in retrospect, I still think I made the right play.
Of giving away the turn?
But, like, how do you predict 9 mortal wounds to 1 unit from
the Wrath Axe?
I mean, that requires a 5, and then a 6, and then a 6.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty good, unlikely.
Yeah. Khorne's favor definitely showed here today. That's like the second invitation that's just gone nuts before and changed the outcome of a game.
Yep.
Other things to talk about now, with the terrain and positioning and whatnot, because of the turn sequencing, your guys got caught out kind of off the objective.
Well, it was just so far.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Like, it takes me 3 turns to get around here.
Yep.
And that's really tough.
Yeah, and when I saw you going that way, I avoided it. You essentially still have half of your army, if not a little more.
More than half. You didn't kill that much stuff.
Yeah. But just not wrong place, wrong time kind of thing.
Yep.
And actually, I didn't even mention, the reason I went with the Blood Warriors before the Skull Crushers is because they haven't had a chance to do anything on the channel yet. So I wanted them to get the glory and get the kill, but they left the duo on 1 wound, so that's their own fault.
But to their credit, they did freaking good.
Yeah. They've done good.
Like, through his -1 to hit, you did. They shouldn't have done 4. I don't think.
I got another 10 to build up, and I'm excited to do so. Run a block of 20, or even like the 10 blocks are good. The other things I could have been doing, and I was waiting to Ryan's turn. I should have done it last round too. Potentially rallying those guys. These are little things just talking about. But a rally and then using Murder Lust to tag all the stuff in the objective could have stopped you from even moving over the invocation. Yeah,
or if you just drop 2 skulls here.
Yeah.
I'm stuck. I have to go the long way.
Yeah, and that's the strength of the invocations on top of the abilities, is just zoning, right?
Yeah, well, for this army that's like 5 and 4-inch movement, those are crippling. Like, it's not just like a little bit. It's like my Great Unclean, when you put one of these in front of him, he's just, every turn he tries to go around it, moves in front of him, he's stuck. There's nothing he can do about it. And since I have no priests, and there's no priests in Nurgle, there's no way to get rid of the things.
Yeah.
And they're just there.
Yeah, that's one thing. It would be nice to see wizards be able to dispel invitations. We obviously saw the vice versa happen with priests being able to undo endless spells. Feels like an oversight to not have that go both ways. So hopefully we see
just
that
gets so
in a future edition.
So just like stifling.
Yeah,
3 of them. It's just like
you're an MSU elite army to begin with, so blocking up your stuff is like like so much value, right?
Oh, exactly. You're taking half my army out of the game every turn.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately why I gave you the turn there. I was like, if I get the turn, I'm just gonna I'll kill 3 guys maybe.
Yeah, because I would exactly that. Rally, murder lust, tag all your stuff, and you'd kind of be stuck there.
Yeah, and then it'd be like, all right, wait for Scarbrand to come kill me. So I was like, all right, I'll get him to come forward.
Yeah.
And then the Wrath Axe happened.
And had I not exactly had the Wrath Axe pop off,
I'd be fine.
It would have been a solid plan. Like, you would have had the duo, killed the Bloodthirster.
Yeah, like the duo would have been hurt, but he'd be healing.
Yep. Yeah. That would be huge. Actually, a couple turns of that.
Yeah. And then this whole side of the army, like I potentially double turn you. I could have nearly tabled you.
Yeah. Yep.
So I still think it was the right play. I mean, you play that out 10 times, that Wrath Axe doesn't do that, probably statistically once more. Like
yes, for sure.
It's like a 1 in like 50 some odd times that happens, but sometimes it happens.
But it happened today, so we're going to take it. I think this is my first win with Khorne in the new book. Definitely finding a better balance, a better list, dropping Insensate Rage because I can't rely on him. And Scarbrand, though he didn't get into combat here, I have enjoyed more this edition.
Oh, and he's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, my whole battle plan's around him not getting to me.
Yeah. Which he kind of got stuck behind most of my stuff. That's the thing. Without Fly, he can't jump over lines.
But he was fine in this. I'm surprised you didn't put him in your front line just because there was no way I was going to get to him and charge you.
Yeah, it was more thinking of preparing for the doubles and being able to murder lust forward and that kind of thing.
So, I mean, it worked out, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, he was irrelevant.
Yeah, here, Blades of Khorne take the day, triumphant victory. Again, probably not going to play this mission again on the channel, but would love to hear your thoughts, what you guys think about this mission. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all your support of the channel. And don't forget, if you want to support the channel more and get access to extra content, you can do so through our channel membership on YouTube. But either way, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon in another Battle Report.